What up, y'all?
What's going on, everybody?
Y'all, we have a lot of South American countries to cover here, and we figure we would check out our friend Barbie's video on South America Explained on the Geography Now channel.
Yeah,
And whoever comes out will deep dive
that's
on y'all a little bit more. It
that's the
seems,
next country up to bat is whoever comes out the most.
yeah, has come out the most of the South American countries that we've checked out, so they're leading the way. So y'all know what to do.
Yep, let's do it, man.
3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, so as you know, we are working on the scripts for the next few country episodes, which means this is going to have to be a filler week. Today's episode is going to be one that was requested, the countries of South America explained. Okay, we're not going to talk about political issues in this episode because although government does play kind of like a big role in their portrayal to the world stage, governments tend to fluctuate and they don't necessarily stand for all the stuff you need to know about a country. And as usual, when I make videos like this, I like to have natives in the video with me to help out. So without further ado, you remember them, the two people from the Colombia and Ecuador episode, Cindy and Diego.
Hey!
How you doing?
Hi.
¿Dónde está mi gente?
Woo!
Are you guys ready to make your countries proud?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Are you ready to critique the other countries and possibly get criticized?
Looking forward to
no.
First country, Argentina. Now, a lot of Latin American countries have their opinions on Argentina. I heard a joke from an Argentinian once. They said all the Latin American countries hate Argentina because Argentinians think they're better than everybody. But then Argentina responds by saying, well, we are, so what's your point? No, but in all seriousness, Argentinians are really cool, nice, sweet people. Just, they're very proud of their country. Argentinians tend to be way more connected to their European roots as opposed to the other countries. Over half the population is either Italian or has roots from Italy. You're also more likely to see blonde hair, blue-eyed people. Of course, they are known for their passionate tango steps, mate, and yeah, really cool people. Just be careful about talking about this. All right, Cindy, Diego, what do you guys?
We got that. We got that. We got
Yeah,
that.
we discussed that on the other channel. We
Yeah.
won't discuss it here. You'd be like it would be like two vegans having beef.
Yeah, pretty much. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What do you say about Argentina?
They have the best barbecue like ever.
They do,
that's
absolutely. The city is beautiful.
Buenos
The
Aires. Never been.
architecture in the cities is just amazing.
Okay, so Diego, can you do an Argentinian accent?
I'll try. Hey guys, don't judge me. Please, I'll try my best. Y ya me quiero regresar a la Argentina.
Y lo sabes, nene.
Sí, algo, ¿viste? Yo soy de la gallina.
There's a lot of shit sounds. Bolivia. Now this
okay.
is
It's like an Italian speaking Spanish,
Okay.
right? That's kind of what I picked up from it. It's very like singy songy.
I'm not even gonna try it. I can't do it either one. I am way too white for that. Although with that in mind, I might fit in Argentina.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yo soy de la gallina.
there's a lot of shit sounds. Bolivia. Now this is a unique one. I've actually been here. Bolivia is kind of known for being like the indigenous one. They have the highest percentage of their population being Amerindian in descent, mostly being Aymara or Quechua. They're kind of like the mysterious mountain cousins that dress differently at family reunions. Many of the women still wear the traditional dresses and the bowler hats and wrestle. Seriously, you gotta see Cholito wrestling if you ever go to La Paz. It's like the coolest thing ever. Speaking of which, La Paz is disputably the highest capital city in the world. If you go there, you're gonna like run out of breath because the altitude is so high. Keep in mind though, Bolivia also has parts of the Amazon rainforest and they also have a desert in the Atacama. If you go to the rainforest though, you can pass through the Yungas Road, the world's most dangerous road. Sometimes it's only 3 meters wide. You could die. It's so fun. They're kind of known for having a government that's like really kind of anti-outside influence. You know, all the McDonald's were banned there, although they do have KFC and Subway and Starbucks. Oh, and because it is the lowest GDP per capita country in all of South America, the exchange rate is amazing. Not even joking, you can buy like a whole meal for 80 cents. I bought an entire like army sack of souvenirs for like 20 people. I ended up spending only like $80. Anyway, Bolivia, cool place, check it out. Alright guys, what do you think about Bolivia?
Titicaca?
Yeah, and sorry guys. No, the Bolivian people I met, they're pretty cool. They're so down to earth.
Brazil.
All right. Before we get to Brazil, 80 cents for all that.
Hey man, sometimes we where we've checked out recently, our U.S. dollar does not go far, but there are places where it takes you the distance.
Yeah, yeah. You could be broke as hell in the States and live like a king in places like Bolivia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the Bolivian people I met, they're pretty cool. They're so down to earth.
Brazil. I feel like I don't even really have to say too much about this, but you guys all know Brazil. It's the big guy. It's the largest country, the largest population, the largest economy in all of South America. South America could not function without Brazil. Now, there's really no one way to summarize all of Brazil because all of the regions and states are so completely different, so many different types of people, but overall, it's kind of like the dad of South America. Like, it plays such a key figure role, and it speaks Portuguese. Brazilian geography Nadia says Spanish is like a choppier version of Portuguese, but without the sh, j, and sounds. The country is super diverse. You have white, black, Asian. They have the highest Japanese population outside of Japan. And it's interesting though, because it doesn't matter who you are. Like at the core of their hearts, they're Brazilian first. I mean, Brazilians, they know how to get down to it and work really hard if they have to. But I mean, when you're surrounded by so much natural beauty, it's really hard not to relinquish the samba from your soul. And that's kind of Brazil, you know? Brazil, what comes to mind?
Brazil. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I love their people. They're super cool. Like, you just want to party with them.
How much Portuguese can you guys understand when they speak it?
I mean, I would say I would get like 20%, 30%,
20,
even
30?
40.
Maybe even 40?
Yeah.
I feel like it's like a Spanish with an accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends.
Like-
And also depends the region. Because
I get that. I get that. Like, I know what you said. I just don't know how you said it or something like that.
You
Like, if
couldn't
you-
repeat it.
I understand like the concept of what you're trying to convey if you speak slow enough, but if you go rapid fire on me,
Game over.
Game over. I'll just revert to speaking English really fast at you. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, but you can kind of get it. They share similar Latin based roots, so that's interesting though. That's interesting to say.
Yeah, and the amount of diversity there, it's on this almost the same level as the United States
Mhm.
in terms of diversity and just certain regions. Like one region does not define all of Brazil,
No.
just like one region doesn't define all of the United States.
Yeah.
So there's a little something for everybody
Mhm.
in Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for the list that has a heavier accent, Sao Paulo, not so much.
Así você mata, así te pego.
Oh!
I gotta look this up. Chile. This one's interesting because geographically speaking, they are pretty isolated from the rest of the continent. It's like the only country in the world where you cannot do a horizontal landscape layout of the nation's image. Chileans are kind of like the bougie, stoic, Ralph Waldo Emerson writers who drink wine. They have like the best wine in the entire continent. It's been known that they are probably the fastest talkers in all of South America, and they have a weird accent. They have a ton of weird words. Some of you guys have said that you can understand Portuguese better than you can understand Chileans. That's how thick their accent is. And it's interesting because they're kind of like the only country that really has to deal with intense earthquakes. They are right on the Pacific Rim, and they get a lot of penguins. But overall, yeah, it's like they're kind of like the slightly rich uncle with a pipe in his hand, but you just can't understand what he's saying. Chile.
Okay.
Penguins.
We have always said between the two of us, when the apocalypse happens, what we want, or maybe I'm the one that want this, I don't know about you, but I want to sit on a chair on the top of a building with a beer and a penguin and watch the whole world burn.
That's a great way to do it. Just welcome in the new era. That's a great way to do it.
Yeah, and now we know where to go get them and some wine. Chile.
There you go. I would say yes. That's a high. There's a higher probability you could do that in Chile.
There you go. Now we know.
What comes to mind?
Pololos.
And they're famous for their festival that they have, a Viña del Mar.
Viña.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's,
Viña del
that's
Mar.
really nice.
Dio, can you do a Chilean accent?
Que yo era la polola, po. Que soy de Chile, po. Sorry, guys. That sounds so stereotypical.
He said chili bowl.
Yeah, that's I heard chili bowl. What?
That means something different here in the States.
Yeah,
It means a bowl of chili.
yeah.
Don't you get your head in
Chili.
the gutter.
Shit. So they just talk really fast. Okay.
Yeah, boy, I'll tell you what, Boomhauer.
Yep.
They're like the Boomhauer of South America.
I'm there for it.
My bad. Is there such a thing as pololear in Chile? I don't know.
Like to make a boyfriend or girlfriend? Like a verb?
Any comments?
Maybe.
Let us know. And now, Colombia. Diego's time to shine. Cindy, you're gonna have to sit this one out for a little bit. All right. South America was a family. How would Colombia fit into it?
They said we're the troublemakers, but let me be clear. Party-wise, yes, we are the troublemakers party-wise.
Party.
Yep. First of all, we're a country that, we don't give up like against or like with adversity, like facing adversity.
You had a lot of it.
Yeah, we've gone through a lot.
It's interesting. You guys are kind of like the twin of Venezuela, right? You're like very similar, right?
Yeah, it's funny because we have this like love and hate relationship.
Yeah, in the 80s and 90s, Colombians were going to Venezuela. Like,
Yeah.
they were running away and going to... Now it's the opposite. Venezuelans are coming into Colombia.
Yeah.
You're right. There is like a unity between you guys.
Yeah,
No matter what happens,
Exactly.
you're always going to be there for each other. And Colombia has taken the most Venezuelans out of any other country in the world.
Yeah, I've heard it's like, it surpassed like the million. I mean, there's a lot of great food, great music, beautiful girls, beautiful women. And by the way, guys, we have the original arepas, so.
Oh,
So good.
shit.
Venezuela.
Oh man,
That's
So-
5 words right there.
arepas. What is that?
It's like some just dough. Just dough, fried dough.
Okay.
It's-
Okay.
It's very filling. Very filling. Venezuelans put stuff in the arepa, right? They like cut it open and make it like a sandwich type thing. Colombians don't. Well, at least for the most part, at least not in my family. They don't cut it open and put stuff in it. Venezuelans put stuff in it. So
Is it closer in texture to like an American pancake or a pita bread, or what would be the closest American thing that you
think
can get
about an English muffin with
Okay.
no nooks and crannies. This solid,
okay.
just solid bread.
Got it. That helps me.
That
That
just,
helps me a lot.
Yeah, just solid. Just
Yeah.
dense as shit.
Got it. And because you're half Colombian and my step family is from Colombia, if I get an arepa, don't put anything on it. Right?
No, they put it on it. See, so Venezuelans they slice it open and they use it like kind of like a sandwich.
Oh.
Colombia,
okay.
you put like bread. You put butter on the top and you eat it like that.
Oh, okay,
but
because you
it's-
top it.
You top it.
Venezuela, you make
They
it into a
stuff it.
sandwich.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. This is things I wonder, man. I'm the foodie, man. I appreciate that.
Of course, man. Of course.
Yeah.
Venezuelans are going to argue about that. But yeah, so many musicians and artists, right?
Yeah, for example, J Balvin, he's been killing it. Shakira, Juanes.
Everybody knows Shakira.
And the list goes on and on. I mean, I don't know if it's weird to you guys, but like, we love to dip like cheese, queso cuajado or queso campesino, like into hot chocolate. And it melts, and it's the best thing ever.
All right, well, Cindy.
What?
Yeah, I was like, excuse me, good sir. Excuse me. That was not a transfer trait to my family. So what?
Your dad never did that, and you
No.
know any family that did that?
No, you dip like cajada, right? The Spanish cheese into hot chocolate and it melts it and you eat. Why does that sound intriguing? Because it's a very savory cheese, right? Very salty cheese.
Oh.
It's not
okay.
like cheddar. It's like very salt, like almost to the point of like goat cheese, like very salty cheese. And a hard cheese, I think, or no, I don't know, but I think it's a harder cheese.
Yeah.
And so that's interesting.
Yeah, it's like chocolate and pretzels. Or,
Yeah,
you
it would
know.
have that. I'm very interested now. I might do that in the next couple days because
There you go.
that sounds amazing.
Yeah, maybe ask your dad. Does anybody in the family do that?
Yeah, he was like, "You're not supposed to know about this." Yeah, okay.
Something like that.
What is an Ecuadorian's perspective on Colombian?
Yeah, the chocolate actually was pretty good. I can say that I really liked it, and they're pretty cool people. I mean, don't you
thanks.
see this?
Appreciate
I mean,
it.
it's like, yeah, they're pretty awesome.
And it's interesting to note that also these countries, as well as Venezuela and Panama, were one country at one point, Gran Colombia. So you're gonna see a lot of similarities and cultural traits that kind of tie in with each other within all four of those countries. Maybe less Panama though, because they're kind of a little separated. But
Yeah.
Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador, I call it the ECOVE Alliance. And now Ecuador, which means Diego, you gotta get out of here. So, yep. All right, Cindy, if South America was like a family, how would Ecuador play into the mix?
I don't know. Ecuador is very chill. We're very nerdy. We do love education. Like all our schools are bilingual. Like everything is focused in education. We are a very friendly country. We don't like to fight. Very agricultural.
Kind of like the sidekick best friend.
I would say totally that. Yeah.
Yes.
The second language was official. The Quechua language was in 2010, if I'm not wrong.
They made it official.
They made it official in our country. But yeah, and now a lot of schools are actually teaching Quechua. And the Darwin Center is actually in the Galapagos. So there's a lot of research, there's a lot of,
a lot of sciencey stuff.
a lot of scientific stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so Cuenca is a very colonial place. It has become like the #1 retirement place in South America.
Well, Diego, from a Colombian perspective, what do you guys think of Ecuadorians?
I think they're pretty chill. Like, we never had a problem with them. No, they're kind of like the nerdy brother, who like never messes, with you. So.
All right, guys. What do you think about the Guianas and Guyana and Suriname? Basically, these three.
They had a lot to say about each other, but then when it came to these countries,
They're
what?
like, it's kind of like 3 of these things are not like the other. It's like, yeah, they exist. I always forget they're part of South America.
Yeah, or it's that dog meme on TikTok where it's the doggo going
Yeah,
to the
just like that.
epic sax guy.
Yeah. I don't know enough about any of these countries. I know one of them tastes the Kool-Aid. The other ones, I don't know. I don't know anything about.
Okay.
Are like the quiet kids down the hall at school that you didn't even know went to your school, and like you meet them for the first time at graduation. Now for Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana, I'm just gonna kind of do them all at once because these 3 just kind of generally go together. Guyana speaks English, Suriname speaks Dutch, although English is very prevalent there as well. And French-speaking French Guiana is an overseas region of France, which is why some people kind of use it as like a backdoor entrance into the EU. Otherwise, yeah, Guyana and Suriname are also very similar. They're the only 2 countries in South America that drive on the left side of the road. They both have huge Indian populations, people that are descended from the indentured servants that were brought over during colonial times. This in return makes them some of the countries with the highest Hindu populations per capita. You can see Hindu shrines and Hindu temples all over. Basically, in a nutshell, it's kind of like a place where a ton of different people from all over the world were dumped into one spot and had to kind of figure out what to do. These 3 areas generally identify as Caribbean in their culture and identity rather than South American. I talked to my French friend William, who was born here. Certains d'entre vous peut-être le connaissent. Le YouTuber Doc7. Yeah, we're buddies. He was actually supposed to be in my France episode, but life stuff happened and he couldn't make it. But yeah, we still keep in contact. Anyway, Doc7 wanted me to tell you. French Guiana was started out as a prison colony where some of the worst criminals in France were sent, similar to what the British did to Australia. It's super diverse. They have whites, blacks, Creoles, native Indian tribes. Surprisingly, a lot of Hmong people that were brought over after Laos had a big war. They're famous for their space center, La Chute Voltaire. He actually made quite a few videos explaining about this place. Most of his videos are in French, but some of them do have English subtitles though, so if you don't understand French, just turn on the subtitles. Paraguay. Paraguay is kind of like the middle black sheep daughter that doesn't get a lot of attention. Paraguay has 2 official languages, Spanish and the indigenous Guarani language. And it's interesting because more people actually understand Guarani than Spanish here. If you go outside of the cities into like rural areas, you might even have trouble communicating because the people just don't speak Spanish. Culturally, they are kind of like more rural and rustic. They're known for being good horse riders. They love drinking tereré. They love playing that bouncy galopas and guarinas country music. And finally, the women are famous for doing the danza de la botella, or the bottle dance. It looks really cool, like they balance bottles or jars on their head, and sometimes they stack them up like 10 high. Pretty cool, very underrated. I say go visit. All right, guys, so what comes to mind when you think of Paraguay?
If I'm not mistaken, they're pretty good with like playing harp.
Harps?
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know, maybe.
What kind of comes to mind when you like meet or like see Paraguayan people on TV, or what do you think?
Where have you guys been all this time?
It's like the lost
Yeah,
unicorn.
it's a mystery.
Peru.
All right, before that, is Paraguay like the Andes or like the hillbillies of
There's like
South America?
like like all these major players and massive like socioeconomic things and decisions, and Paraguay comes in like off their like 20 or 200-year lunch break, and they're like, bro, you're still here? Like, yeah, what I miss? Like fucking everything.
Did Mondale get a second term?
Yeah, like what? Get out of here, man.
Yeah,
That's interesting. I've never met a Paraguayan once.
If you haven't, I haven't.
If you exist out there, Paraguay, put it yourself in the comments, because
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. And it's something I was gonna say, but I forgot. But anyway,
if I haven't interacted with a Paraguayan, it doesn't exist to me. That's how I see it.
yeah. Oh, I was gonna say they take our phrase "unplug" and go do something legendary very seriously.
It's like in the Constitution. It's like, do not get known ever. It's like, okay, cool, man.
And stack
you guys
bottles on your head.
Yeah, stack bottles. We're too busy stacking bottles, guys.
I can only do one.
Yeah.
Where have you guys been all this time?
I know, it's like the lost
Yeah,
unicorn.
it's a mystery.
Peru is kind of like the big brother who took a risk, played his cards right in business and marketing, and exploited the crap out of all his tourism spots and made a lot of money. It worked. He's kind of like a big shot now. Keep in mind, Peru is also one of the indigenous strong nations. A significant portion of their population is Amerindian in descent, the largest one being Quechua. They are known for having really good food. Everybody knows ceviche. All right, guys, Peru, what comes to mind?
Particularly Ecuadorian and Peruvian food is very, very similar. Even like the papas that they have,
Okay,
is
really?
that we have it is very similar.
Okay, Diego introduced me to this wonderful, amazing thing from Peru. What is it?
Guys, please don't hate me, okay? But I had to.
I love it.
Alright? You know what it is already? Señorita Laura.
For those of you who don't know, Senorita Laura is like the Jerry Springer of Peru. People go on this show and they go crazy and they yell at each other and they accuse who of cheating who. And then some of them get a prize. And apparently this lady got a hot dog stand as a prize when she was cheated on. I don't get it, but I love it. I love it. I love it so much. Uruguay.
Man, every country needs a Jerry Springer
Everyone does, yeah.
or a Maury. Apparently in Britain it's Jeremy Kyle.
Yeah.
So we all need that in our lives.
Gotta have that just trash television. It's like, it's a necessity. It's a guilty pleasure, man.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it.
And also, guinea pigs live in Peru. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Well, we're not gonna go down that rabbit hole or guinea pig hole. Just let's keep going. But I'm just saying.
You were the one that brought it up, man.
I had to just say. So that's me just saying.
Guinea pigs. They're gonna rule the earth one day.
100%. I am positive. Not enough. No one knows about them.
I can't with you sometimes.
Stupid. Yeah.
Fuck you, Verum Banter community. I love y'all, but I hate y'all too.
Fucking guinea pigs. All right, cool.
As when she was cheated on. I don't get it, but I love it. I love it. I love it so much. Uruguay. The joke is Uruguay is like Argentina's Canada. Most South Americans say that they can't distinguish the difference between Argentinians and Uruguayans, but Argentinians and Uruguayans can totally tell the difference and they swear by it. They have like generally the same accent and the same general kind of like Eurocentric type of demographic. I mean, Uruguay doesn't really have a native indigenous population. The ones that were there were kind of either moved or displaced or killed off. So now it's mostly just Spanish and Italian. Out of all the countries in Latin America, they have the lowest percentage of church attendance and highest unaffiliated population at somewhere around 17%. Landscape-wise, Geography Adrian says, it might be boring. We don't have mountains, deserts, jungles, or snow. We are just a flat plain with lots of happy cows and sheep that eat as much grass as they can. Now, of course, you cannot talk about Uruguay without mentioning soccer, football. Now, here's the thing. Like, All Latin American countries pretty much love soccer, football, but Uruguay, it's impressive how well they've done for such a small country. Nonetheless, they have won 2 World Cups and 15 Copa America wins. They beat Argentina, a country that's like 15 times their population. So they take this sport really seriously. Uruguay, what do you guys think? What comes to mind?
The Simpsons
Soccer
show?
again. Oh. I don't think I've ever met a Uruguayan, but I mean, they're cool. I mean, I'll be cool with them, obviously. I mean,
They have like a very famous lake also.
Lake?
Like, yeah. Because everybody that goes to Argentina, they always want to take like the
true.
boat, right?
yeah, I've heard that.
And finally, Venezuela.
All right. Any opinion about Uruguay before we go to Venezuela?
No, just I know they're in every World Cup, and they do very well in every World Cup. That's
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Want to take like the
true.
boat, right?
Yeah, I've heard that.
And finally, Venezuela. Hey guys, so just a heads up, while we were filming this video, all those crazy things that were happening in Venezuela literally just occurred. So we're gonna do a little video explaining about all that stuff later, but until then, let's get back to the main video. Geography.
Oh, man, some bad timing right there. Oh, was this video made? I think it was like 5 years ago. Let me see. It was 5 years ago. Yeah, January 2019. January 24th, 2019. Yeah. That's when it came out.
That's smart. At least say stuff, and address it.
Yeah,
and
don't
then
just gloss
push
over it.
forward.
Yeah.
Maria Fernanda says, if Venezuela was a student, she would be like a straight A student that got addicted to Adderall and is in and out of rehab.
Oh,
okay, jokes aside. Venezuela is actually very unique. Just like their neighbors, they have almost every single landscape you can imagine. They have deserts, they have beaches, they have jungles, they have snow-capped mountains. Now, I know we're not going to talk too much about politics, but I think it's very interesting to note the relationship they have with Bolivia. Their governments kind of have similar ideologies with like minimizing outside influence. There's like a unique Bolivia, Venezuela, Cuba alliance. There's like all these little hidden gems in Venezuela. Angel Falls is here. It's the thing that inspired the movie Up. They have like a river/lake where it has like perpetual lightning all year round. And yeah, Venezuelans though, they are super proud of their country. And Venezuelans do have a lot of European background. It's been said that Venezuelans have like the cleanest Spanish. It's like very pure and untainted. I don't know, that's what I was told. They're very similar to Colombians, very outgoing and party people if they want to be. Apart from all the political stuff, we all know it, but when you just meet a Venezuelan, what do you think?
The brothers.
The brothers. The twins of you guys.
Arepas.
Uh-huh.
I know you said that arepas.
No, you know the truth,
Well, by the way, yeah, they do have a little bit of an accent. Diego, can you do the accent?
Well, I try. ¿Qué más, marico? ¿Cómo está la vaina, chamo? ¿Todo bien?
Yeah.
You nailed it.
Nailed it. Oh, okay.
And by the way, arepas, Colombians.
All right, and that was it. Thank you guys for being in this video.
Thanks for inviting us.
Yes, for
Thanks
sure.
for inviting us.
Any last words you guys want to just say to the whole Geography Now community?
Even though, we have a lot of differences, we share a lot of similarities as well. And you will find like really good people, really good food, like landscapes are some of the best ones you could ever find.
Yeah,
Go to
I've
South
had the
America.
opportunity to travel. It's just the nature is like the colors are so vibrant. I feel like the Andes, the minerals that we have is everything is just so organic, and anything is like processed. Maybe that's the reason why the food is also so good.
You don't have to fight for
And
organic.
you don't have to fight for organic. Everything is
So
organic.
cheap too, like, right?
Exactly. Every country has its beauty, and you should visit them all. I will
Yes.
say.
Specifically,
Nice.
which one should they visit?
Colombia, Cartagena, Medellin.
Well, thank you so much. That's it. Hope you guys have a good one. Stay
Bye.
cool. Stay
Take
tuned.
care, guys.
Bye.
Nice, man.
I didn't know I needed that one.
Hey, man, that was good. And I would say this about Venezuela: it is a gorgeous country. I lived there for a couple months,
Oh,
and when times were good, I'll just leave it there. And I had a lot of family in Venezuela that have since moved to Colombia.
nice. So the,
One Venezuelan,
I do.
your cousin.
Yeah, I
He's
do.
Venezuelan. So it's crazy. I don't know what I was trying to say is Venezuela's beautiful, great people. You take the big dark politics aside, gorgeous place. It's unfortunate that really good people have to suffer of ridiculous decision makers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, obviously that's for another video. In
Yep.
fact, at the time that we're recording this one, the last episode of Jargon Now was Venezuela, and Vietnam is right around the corner. So if y'all want us to check that out, y'all know what to do. Show up in that comment section.
Come on. Let's go.
And maybe also, I mean, I've got you and I've got my step family to ask about Colombia, but maybe also, what can a gringo like myself do in your country to make it not seem like I'm sticking out like a sore thumb, like I'm an American and I'm not doing things right or something like that?
Yes.
How can I be friendly in your country?
Yes, there you go. Put that in the comment section.
Try not to use so many euphemisms here.
Yep, there you go. That's the perfect way to do it. That's the perfect way to ask. So let's enlighten Spencer.
Yes,
Let's do
please.
it. And me too, because whatever.
Please and gracias.
Yep.
Anyway, thank y'all for watching. Consider subscribing, watching another video. And what
Definitely.
else, Dan?
Unplug and do something legendary, guys.
Adios, y'all.
Later.
Fellas, we could be that mistake. Let's do this.